Do you find your business is very noisy? Do you find yourself chasing other team members to get their work done on time? And do you find yourself always trying to figure out where different jobs are, where different tasks are taking place, and where we are in a sequence of events? Well, in your business, if you want to create a Rolls-Royce rhythm where everything runs like clockwork, it's smooth, nobody's chasing anyone, and everyone knows where they stand, you need the My House Blueprint. In this podcast, I'm going to take you through the blueprint that I've used to start, systemize, buy and or sell over 40 different companies. This podcast is called the My House Blueprint. Okay, so what is the My House Blueprint? Well, what this is in your business, there's going to be certain tasks that are what we would call repeat tasks. And during the month, there's going to be certain things you do. In finance, it might be raising invoices, checking invoices. In marketing and sales, it might be recording content or posting videos. In operations, it might be sending out customer surveys. It may be booking in process or action in processes that need to be completed. But they're tasks that happen every day, week or month without fail, and they're repeat. They're consistent. They happen again and again and again. They're repeat tasks. And what we want to do is you want to build your business out so that it runs like a Rolls-Royce. So it's smooth, it's consistent. Everyone knows what's happening, when, and what they've got to do and when they've got to get it done by. This is really important if you want to build an actual business. Whether you want to build it for scale or you want to build it for sale, you need everyone in your business to be running off the same hymn sheet. Imagine a Rolls-Royce. You know, there's no false starts, there's no chasing each other, no missing deadlines, no wondering where we are, no work landing on your desk that you weren't expecting. We want to get rid of all those curveballs and all the stuff that happens repeat. You want it to happen without having to be chased. So basically what My House is it's an asset that you build in the business, and it's a blueprint that we use across all of our companies, and it enables you to understand what tasks need to be done, when they need to be done, and who needs to do each part of it. And then what you do is you itemize the steps of a task. So, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. You then allocate it to a team member, Craig, Julie, John, Peter, and then you put a date by it. The 1st of the month, the 3rd of the month, the 6th of the month, the 10th of a month. And what it does is it gives everyone a date and it gives everyone a deadline. And with these dates and deadlines, it enables every single one of your team to allocate time to complete a task. So if they know it's landing on their desk on the Tuesday, the date is the Tuesday, it lands on their desk. They know that that's going to land on a Tuesday, and Tuesday afternoon they've got to do it. They can plan their time effectively. And second is the deadline is if it lands Tuesday morning, they have to do it Tuesday afternoon, and then they have to move it on to the next step Wednesday morning. They have a deadline. And what that means is they know when they've got to get it done by. The person who's picking it up from them when it's done knows exactly what date they're going to get it. They deliver it to the next deadline, and you start to achieve this Rolls-Royce rhythm. What it does is it removes the necessity for anyone to chase. Everybody knows what tasks are being done when it's going to come to them, when they've got to get it completed to, and who it goes to after. It means everything runs to time, so nobody's chasing each other, everything's running to deadlines. And it also means everything's efficient. Because if you haven't got to send it to someone and it takes them 3 days or 5 days to turn it around, if they know it's arriving on a Tuesday, they're expecting it to arrive on a Tuesday. They've got time allocated on a Tuesday. They know they've got to get it back out the door on a Wednesday. And it creates this real nice consistency. So how do you actually do it? Well, you can do it in whichever way you want. Maybe you've got a task management software you use. Maybe you've got a CRM system. Maybe you've got some sort of project management workflow that you use. You could potentially build it into that. What we do and what we teach on Property Entrepreneurs, we actually have a blueprint that we use, and we teach it on the Property Entrepreneur Program. So those of you that come into one of our events this year or join in our program, you'll actually get this, you'll get trained on it, you'll take it away. For those of you that want to attempt to recreate it, what it essentially is a table. So My House could be, so it's hosted, we host it on a Google Sheet, and it could be per department, it could be for a whole business, it could be for an individual team member. And what you do is you basically have one table or tab per project or per department or per team. And what you do is you consolidate everything that relates to that part of the business into one, say, tab. And the way that we do it is we run all of our months on a 4-week cycle, because every month has 4 weeks. Some have slightly more. which would give you a bit of contingency, but none have any less. So you would have 4 weeks and run it in week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And what it does is it creates this cyclical nature to your business, where in our business, so let's say, for example, in our property business, we run in calendar months because all the rents get paid on the first of the month, all the compliance gets audited on whatever date. We run it in calendar months. Where we've got, say, for example, a training business like Property Entrepreneur, we run that on our event cycle. So event week is week 4 on the cycle. So week 1 is the first week after the event, week 2, week 3, and then week 4 is event week. So everyone's running, building up to the event week, the event takes place, and then we start the cycle again on week 1. And what we do is on that sheet, so let's use Property Entrepreneur as an example, you've got 4 weeks, and let's say a section of the business would be content, or let's say workbooks, because it's easier. So workbooks, every month we design workbooks, all the content goes in, we have them designed, we have them printed, we have them shipped, we have them put out at the workshop. So what we do is we create it in line with that. So week 1 is getting all of the content ready from the speakers, what needs to go into the workbook. Week 2 is to consolidate the brief on, say, a Tuesday. That then goes to the designer on a Wednesday. The designer sends it back on a Thursday. The edits get done on the Thursday, sent back to the designer. The final edit comes in on a Friday and goes off to the printers. On Monday, the printers receive it and book it in for printing. On Tuesday, it gets printed. On Wednesday, it gets cut and shipped. On Thursday, it gets delivered. And then it's into event week and it gets distributed. All of that stuff is booked in. So nobody ever has to think, when's the design going to artwork? When do we need to submit our slides? When do we need to give the hosts our brief for what we're going to say? The whole business, and bearing in mind, it's a multi-million-pound organisation that has hundreds of clients, does events. The events that we run, most companies would like struggle to put one of those events on a year. We put about 6 on every month, and within 3 days we do the program, we do the lunches, we do the supper club, we do the mastermind, we do the board, we do the wine room, we do golf, we do AGMs, we do strategy day. All of that might take place in 2 or 3 days, and we do that every single month. The only way they could run that business is if it had My House. And it shows everyone exactly what's going to do. Until you have My House, you don't really know how your business runs. And it's just that download of getting it all onto the sheet, seeing all the processes, allocating it to the team members, giving every single one of them the date which they've got to do it and the deadline which they've got to submit it to. And then what you can also do is you have a tick sheet on it and they tick it off when it's done. And there's even a My House task on there which says, tick it off when it's done. And then what you do is you schedule that from there into your calendar. So what I go on my calendar and it'll say, right, Wednesday, speaker brief is due. So I'm going to get a speaker brief from the company about what I need to speak about at the next event. So then I have that time booked in to then draft it. I then have once I've created it, I then create the artwork brief and I send it to the team. I send it to my EA. She then sends it to the design team. She does the schedule for the ops team. All of that runs to My House. It's an absolute game changer. And people tick it off as they go. So you'd never need to worry about, has it been done? Did the workbooks go to print? Did all the speakers get their stuff in on time? You just go on Google Drive and you just click My House and you can see every single bit of the business, from finance to operations to marketing, workbooks, slide decks, events, scheduling. Literally absolutely everything has a My House. So that's the blueprint. I hope that sort of makes sense. And if you haven't got a My House blueprint, you probably haven't really got a business. And it really is the framework to have every single team member knowing what they're doing, when they're doing it, when it's got to be completed, and to establish that Rolls-Royce rhythm. If you're serious about building a business and you haven't already done our 3-day event, our 12-month programs start at £15,500. They go up to £40,000 a year. It's 12 months. It's a big time of financial investment. Every year, however, we run our 3-day try before you buy event. Come spend 3-day events at the Belfry Golf and Spa Resort. Learn this unique and proven blueprint we've been teaching for over a decade, start to finish, and I guarantee it will take your business to the next level. Go to www.don'ttalktotenants.co.uk now to secure a place. And in 3 days, you will learn the blueprint start to finish, leave with all the resources, the slide decks, the blueprints that we use, and it genuinely will take your business to the next level in the 12 months ahead. Success and failure are both very predictable. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and I'll see you on the next episode.